Hello, and welcome back to another video on the progress of my single. I apologize firstly for taking so long to update again. It's just been busy. Weather has not been great around here, so because most of the work I do is either outside or semi-outside, it takes a bit longer. And then secondly, I guess I have to apologize for the weirdness of this particular video, because when I recorded this footage last week, I forgot that I had the camera set on time-lapse for the time-lapse I did during Storm Eunice, which I actually uploaded to my channel as well, so I need a little plug to my other video. So yeah, but on this video I get my hands dirty by actually doing some fiberglass repair. So before we get anything done, we started by applying heating to dry out the inside, because the boat's been sitting outside. I cannot keep it permanently inside a nice warm building. So in order to maximize the success of our repairs, which involve epoxying layers of fiberglass into the areas that are weakened, we need to make sure that the substrate, i.e. the boat itself, is dry. So the fan heater came out and you can see the fan heater being gone vertically, pointing at the hole where the repairs are going to be taking place. So to do these repairs, we use the West system. I'll put a link in the description. So this is a complete system where you can buy the resin, the hardener, the filler, powders, etc. They have all this information on the website. It's very used for repairing marine stuff, so boats, fiberglass vehicles, cars, things like that. So we used two different kinds of fiberglass. So we used fiberglass tape, which has a much finer mesh, so it's very, very thin, and that is used mostly for the outside repairs because we want a better finish there. But also we used a slightly thicker fiberglass cloth for the inside, because the inside, no one's going to see that once we've sealed it all up, so it doesn't really matter that it's a little bit less, a bit more coarse and less smooth. So these tapes were then cut to size. We sized them the regions that we wanted to repair, and then we gave them a little bit of a buffer around it. I cut more than one slice because we want to layer a few, and then we started mixing the epoxy with the hardener. So for this we used the West 105 system, which I think the 105 means 1:5 ratio. So effectively you have 1 part of epoxy, if I understood it rightly. I think it's the other way around. Anyway, you can see that on the website, but it's a 1:5 ratio, and you just mix it, and you then have a limited amount of time to use the epoxy, otherwise it just hardens and it's useless. We then applied the mixture to the area being repaired, and then we placed the layer of tape above it, and then, a bit like making a lasagna, we put more material, more tape. So we did 2 layers of that on the inside, which were the repairs around the fin box that needed doing. On the outside, we've also tackled the very edge of the stern of the boat, but that was an outside repair, and so for that we used the tape rather than the cloth. But before we could even apply it, because there was quite a lot of material missing, because the original material had all flaked off, so we had to sand it down and a lot of it came off. We actually mixed a bit of filler with the epoxy, so we made a new batch, and with that filler, which looked a lot like the sort of thing that you feed to young children, had that consistency. It was a bit more thick than porridge, but of similar color. We just laid it on top of the area that needed repairing to make sure it was nice and uniform, and then we placed the tape on top of it. And again, same lasagna style application, epoxy, tape, more tape. Make sure everything is nice and flat, and then we use the edge of a bit of cardboard just to make sure we smooth and we don't leave any bubbles. Now, normally these repairs, as soon as you make the epoxy, you have to get going, and this cures very, very quickly. I mean, matter of minutes. But obviously there's a temperature dependence there, and so effectively, because we are doing this in the middle of winter in an unheated garage, the fan heater had to come out to the rescue again. And my friend particularly was kind of getting a bit worried whether this resin was actually still good, because at first it just wasn't curing at all. The pot that we had used, we put it next to the area that was being cured. So once the material that was inside the pot started hardening, we knew that it was actually going. And it took ages for it to happen, because even though we used the hardener that supposedly works at lower temperature, it was not a nice warm night that night. So it took a little bit of time with the fan heater on top. But yeah, eventually the things did cure. I left them out for another couple of hours. Unfortunately, lugging an 8-meter long boat, it's not possible to keep it all inside my garage, so I could only leave it for a few hours before I went to bed, and then I had to take the boat outside, wrap it all in plastic, and hopefully it has done the job. So stay tuned, and hopefully see you at the next video, which again hopefully should not have technical issues of this kind. I've made sure that my camera is no longer in time-lapse mode.